What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Two Car Garage. Can't believe I'm up to 180 subscribers already. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit that button down below and hit the bell so you're notified when new videos drop every week. As you know, we're working on our 2005 Honda VTX1800F behind me, and we've got some satisfying work to do today. I chose that word wisely because we have to replace all of our fluids. It's not like we're going to notice new brake fluid, but it's satisfying because we know the brake fluid, the clutch hydraulic fluid, the oil, the rear drive oil, everything is going to be fresh and good to go. And then we're going to clean the whole bike, and that will be the best part because there's just so much darn chrome over this entire motorcycle. It'll be very satisfying to follow along as we go through the whole thing and make it shine. So let's start with the fluids. Let's start with the most straightforward, right? The engine oil. There are two drain plugs and a canister screw-on filter on the bottom. So we'll start just by removing the drain. Oh my gosh, look at this. Even the oil dipstick is like solid billet chrome. Like, I don't think this was stock. Like, I think he paid a lot of money to get this. It's crazy. It has oil. Right, just not very good, pretty old. So let's do the oil now. Oil's done, let's do the rear drive oil. First we have to take off this chrome cover because of course it has a giant flame chrome cover on it. Whoops. Let me just pick all that up. Engine oil and rear drive oil are done. Now it's time to move on and replace and bleed the clutch fluid. It's a hydraulic clutch. Let's do it. A lot of you boss hosses out there are probably like, give me a break. That doesn't have that much chrome. My Road Glide has so much more chrome. Check this out. Even the banjo bolts for the master cylinder, they have a chrome cap over the hex head so that you don't see it. So that all you see is chrome. There's so much chrome! Now I'm over here on the front brake. The front brake fluid actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty clear, like it was definitely replaced at some point. It looks like there are stainless braided lines on the bike. I'm not sure if the VTX came with it. I doubt it, right? I doubt that it came with nice stainless lines from the factory. So maybe when the previous owner upgraded to stainless brake lines, they replaced the fluid then, and that's why it's so clear, relative especially to the clutch fluid, which was definitely original and nasty. So I'm still going to replace it just for funsies because brake fluid is cheap. So we'll do both front calipers, then we'll go on to the back. So the chrome cover on these calipers I think is held on with just double-sided tape. And it's blocking the bleed nipple. So I can't back off the bleed screw because of this cheap chrome adhesive caliper cover. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I could pry it off or maybe heat it up. Heat it up first with a heat gun. That'll loosen the tape and then back it off. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so I got most of it with a heat gun and a razor blade, and now I'll use goof off to try to get the rest of this dumb double-sided tape. All right, all the brake fluid is done, and a lot of stuff used brake fluid, right? We had 2 front calipers, 1 rear caliper. The clutch is also hydraulic, so that took brake fluid as well. It's all .4. We replaced the engine oil, the rear drive oil, the clutch fluid, the front and the rear brakes. So now the only fluid left is the coolant, which we already drained, remember, because we had to take apart the throttle bodies. So now we just have to top it off. But I actually think I'm going to wait to top off the coolant just because I don't want to put the throttle bodies back in yet. I want to go through and clean the whole bike first and then do that. So we'll top off the coolant later. Now that it is time to start cleaning this mean mugging machine, the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of this. Not the lines themselves, but you notice that this is like plastic wire loom. So it's like chrome plastic wire loom, I think. It's not exactly chrome anymore. It's all like worn down and black. And then parts of it are chrome. It is really, really nasty looking and just looks really, really cheap. So tons of this, pretty much covering everything black. So all of the electrical lines on the handlebars, brake hoses that are rubber are covered in this too, so we have a lot of it to remove. Let's pull off this crap now. Holy chrome wire loom, Batman. This was a lot. That was probably the easiest thing that I've done on the whole motorcycle and will do, and also the most satisfying too. Like I don't mind a lot of chrome if you're gonna put chrome on the bike, but you know, cheap chrome style wire loom, like this cheap wire loom like that, is just tacky, you know, just tacky. All right, let's start cleaning and get our plan on that. I'm gonna start on the top, work my way down the front, and then we'll move backward. So on the top, that means all the little handlebar stuff, so I won't be able to use much. I actually don't know on any of the bike if I'm gonna be able to use a polishing pad. I might just have to do it all by hand. We'll see. There's not really a whole lot of surface area on any one piece. But either way, if we're going to go about it with a rag, what I like to use is just your old school Flitz polish. Not a sponsor, but you can be. Hit me up. It's easy to use. It's not super expensive. And you can be... You know, it's very forgiving when you just apply it with a rag. As long as nothing is like pitted or anything, if it's just dirty like that, this works great on chrome. So we'll start on the handlebars. All right, for the before and after, let's check out the before. It took a lot of rags and a lot of elbow grease, but I'm pretty sure, unless I missed some, which is possible, that I polished all the chrome on the bike. Let's check it out. Now that the bike is clean, the only thing left to do is to start putting it back together to get ready for our first start. So we already installed our intake. Now we just have to install our throttle body, the air cleaner on the other side, the coolant reservoir tank, top off the coolant, and we're good to go. Let's do it. The throttle body's attached, the throttle cables, the coolant lines, a lot of the electrical connectors. So now we're ready for our shiny intake. Let's do it. And there's the air cleaner. Let's check it out. Now we're over on the left side of the bike, ready to put our coolant reservoir tank on and top off the coolant, and you guessed it, the chrome cover for this tank as well. Let's do that now. And there's the coolant reservoir tank. We're going to wait to put the chrome cover on because when we top off the coolant, we have to fill up the reservoir tank as well. Well, there's another episode of Two Car Garage. We're making a lot of awesome progress on our VTX1800 behind me. With all the fluids changed, the intake is back on, the fuel pump's back on, all the chrome is polished and it's looking good. The only thing left to do is start it for the very first time in a long time. And for that, you're going to have to wait until next week, and so will I. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure you comment, like, subscribe. Thanks.